Hello again, thank you for joining me for another video. So today I wanted to talk about the difference between, well, one thing I've noticed that happens on the spiritual path, well, maybe just on the path of being a human being, is a lot of us wrestle with loneliness. I remember when I was younger, I used to feel like the thing that was wrong with God, or like if you had to fix God, if God had a problem, then something you needed to fix, of course, because I feel like I need to fix every fucking problem in the universe. Sorry for swearing. I decided that I needed to solve that problem too. This is how I spend my time philosophically waxing uh, solutions to all the problems in the universe. And if one of the problems was that God was lonely, I was going to find a solution to that. Anyways, it's a fundamental problem, is my point, that we feel alone with the amount of information that the localized self contains. And until we confront the truth of the aloneness, until that is fully confronted, you can't move past it into not aloneness, into the diversity of uh, mixed realms, mixed realities, multidimensional truths, the layers of metaphysical and physical coalescence. Then the loneliness dissipates. But in the beginning, there is loneliness, and aloneness takes on a hue of repressed vitality. So I like being alone very much. I like thinking thoughts that nobody else thinks. I like spending my time creating energetic tapestries in my mind, solving riddles and problems and puzzles and imagining things. And as soon as I hear somebody else say something even remotely similar, like, okay, well, that's done, now let's move on to the next thing. I like the very newest thought to be the thought that I'm thinking about. Like, I don't like popular anything unless I'm trying to stop thinking. And at that point, then popular stuff is great. Like, I am all for watching Jersey Shore and Jerseylicious, and basically anything New Jersey related tends to like bring me down to common level, stop thinking, take a break space. It works for me. I don't know. My point is that there's a confrontation to the idea of being alone. Like, I like to be alone. I do not like to be lonely. Lonely feels like something that is being put upon me as opposed to a choice I'm making. And loneliness is a condition that is like economically based largely. And I think that's why I struggle so much. I struggle a lot in economic realms because the loneliness and the economic, they like function together in such a way, and I just resent them both. There's a rejection there. There's a like a punitive nature to things, like the social stigma of certain kinds of people or certain ways of thinking or certain, pick your poison. Every tribe uses this threat, really, to bring people into line. And at this stage of the game, it's just detrimental for our species. So I'm trying really hard to be comfortable with being alone because I can't tolerate, um, it's like now in order to be part of the herd, you have to be part of or to get the safety in numbers experience, you have to submit and accept certain levels of lies that because I've had lived experience that counteracts it, contradicts it, I can't. It would be like a denial of self. And so I have to just be comfortable somehow in the alone time I'm having, because I can't make those concessions anymore. And I'm getting old enough now where it's like, you know, coming to terms with death, because that's what gets put on, that's what all of that kind of really points you to, is this idea of death. And, you know, mathematically speaking, I don't know much about that from the standpoint of life. I can look and I can say, you know, zero seems to be false, and death and zero seem to be the same thing. So if zero isn't true, then death can't be true. And so somehow you have to like get into this other place. Like shit like that is probably why I spend, you know, so much time alone. I think I just wanted to put a video out because I'm noticing that when I'm feeling a particular type of vibe, I'm probably not the only one who's feeling that particular vibe. And we would all feel a little less alone if we were sharing some of these more subtle vibes that the overriding sense of rejection that comes in. Like, I highly encourage people to be particular about what you're rejecting, um, so that you aren't shutting out large swaths of people who are just actually just in a developmental stage, versus really holding thoughts that are damaging. You know, there's a difference. And using the what's that word, shunning, using the shunning tool, um, you know, unless you're in an extremely closed community, it's unnecessary and detrimental to long-term societal growth, really. I hate the feeling of loneliness. It feels like I'm being punished for being myself. That's what loneliness feels like. Alone feels like I'm choosing to examine my own thoughts and beliefs about reality and the relationship that I am having with, you know, the electric nature of life and vitality and truths and all of this cool stuff. So hang in there. If you're feeling a little bit of the isolation and loneliness vibe, try not to lean into it too much and turn it back into the connected, coherent state of individuation that many of us are experiencing, and not necessarily, you know, separated and rejected, right? So individuated and connected versus separated and rejected is kind of the what's playing out there in the field. So I hope this finds you well. Till next time, take care.